Alright, welcome to another 902 gaming video. Today I'm going to be going over some new deck lists that were posted recently on January 10th. And the one thing about the next series of videos that provided that I actually have the capacity and ability to do them, there's going to be a bunch of snow decks, which kind of excites me. I think the snow mechanic this time was actually plays much better than the last one, although I don't think they could have done as much with it as they could have. So first up we have another seemingly fan favorite card, Tegridy. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I'm going to say it. So this card tends to kind of play backwards than it should. It's one of those cards that seems really sweet when you get it, and then you get to make them discard. With this card, I don't know if this card actually plays well. I guess they do discard it, and then you get to put it in the play. But when you get them to do this, so when you get Tegridy in the play, the Tegridy God of Fright, the creature side in the play, then you cast something like this, you get likely 2 lands, or maybe at the worst 2 lands or something like that, or they discard maybe a couple of spells, big deal. But if they happen to discard a few creatures, that's when this becomes pretty sweet. Now, the reason why I say it plays backwards is generally in Magic nowadays, especially in Standard, you typically want to go 1-drop into 2-drop into 3-drop, maybe into a 1-drop and a 2-drop, or 2 2-drops or something like that. You don't want to necessarily go a 5-drop into a 2-drop on your next turn, or a 3-drop. I don't think there's anything in the 6 mana range that forces your opponent to discard any cards or anything like that. If there was, then I would say this card's much better than it's actually playing out. What I do see is a lot of the time people will cast it at 4 mana. And sometimes, I think I've said it when I think this was one of my cards in the overplayed Standard cards right now. And people will play this for the 4 mana side and then just basically lightning bolt you every turn, which is not terrible, but at the end of the day, it's not really going to win you the game when they have a choice to not take the damage. But we're playing Blood on the Snow, so there's potential for this to come back. Then we have just your typical Blood in the Snow type stuff, although this one is playing a few different cards, like Nighthawk Scavenger. It's playing Valky, although no way to actually flip Valky to play the Cosmic Imposter. That's probably something I would change. I think the mana is good enough for 1 mono color deck with a little bit of a splash to be worth it for sure. Even if you just play a couple of mountains, it won't really impact your deck too much, and it could expand maybe your sideboard possibilities. It's playing a lot of discard, so it's really targeting the blue-red deck, or maybe the Snow Delver deck, or whatever I seem to be playing a lot against lately. But we have Nighthawk Scavenger. It's playing Meathook Masker, which again is great. Lots of removal. It's playing Concealing Curtains. This is a card that I realized recently that you have to play it. It's not only just a 1-drop 0/4. Sometimes you can play it as a 4-drop. So basically just 4 mana, and it's a 3/4 menace, basically, that they can kill before you flip it. But if you play it as a 4 mana 3/4 menace, essentially basically on that turn, you don't necessarily need to play it on turn 1. Sometimes it can open it up for removal depending on what you're playing against. It can be a pretty good speed bump against the mono white deck. But I think generally you would side this out in those types of matchups. I think there's better cards for it. But again, I think this deck is just built around a couple of Planeswalkers, Blood in the Snow. It looks to try to maximize. That might be why that there's not 2 colors, but there's not a splash of red, just to try to maximize the amount of snow lands. So you can get Professor Onyx back as well. And I think there's enough spells to support that. So again, this deck was there's a deck list here. Yeah. Again, this is a best of 3 Standard. I'm not going to play, so I haven't decided yet if I want to start playing best of 3 matches with these decks. I don't think I will. I think I can get a couple more games in and showcase the deck a little bit better than basically just playing against one matchup. I like to play 3 games against a deck that's just a bad matchup. Another caveat too, something I may have not mentioned in other videos. When I record these videos, I haven't played the deck yet, so I may make mistakes that's not obvious at the time. We're gonna switch this. Green or white. Okay. We're gonna select this one. All right, let's go. I think the snow mechanic this time actually played out a little bit better than it did in Cold Snap. I think Cold Snap had some really weak cards. I think in this standard format, with Kaldheim rather, you had a lot of payoff for playing snow cards. Blood in the Snow. There's Faceless Haven as well. I think it's a good one. Now nerfed in Alchemy. It's just way better than the Snowland and the Viper from Cold Snap. I think it was the only 2 snow cards that were ever played back then. All right, I got removal, I got mass removal, and I got a discard card and 3 lands. Let's go. Generally, I don't like to get the alternate art, but I think it was like 60 gold or something like that the other day. They were on sale, so I decided that I was going to get them. Might be too early to play this guy, but it's okay, I think. I decided to pick up 1 of each. I almost never. I actually haven't. That would be the first time I've actually purchased anything. I don't recommend it, but they were relatively cheap, and I have lots and lots of gold, so I'm not too worried about it. So black, probably mono black control deck. Yeah, it's a very similar deck. It's possible here that I want to drop Meat Hook Massacre early. But I'm going to wait in case there's zombies or something like that. I'm not 100% sure what they could be. They're playing the Agadeem's Awakening, so in all likelihood they are playing some amount of creatures. Likely. Yeah, I'll just have to do that. I'll put a little bit of pressure. I probably didn't need to play any other creatures, but they likely have lots and lots of removal, so it doesn't particularly matter. Oh, they're playing. Oh, cool. It's possible that. Yeah, it's possible. I think I just want to get rid of that card. I think this might be more important. Well, that sucks. I think I'm going to end up playing it here. Just so their discard doesn't. Just so I don't lose it. I probably could have done it beforehand for 2. He's probably got 1 for 3 now. No. Playing the exact same deck. That'd be kind of funny. Although I'm not playing Pyrite. Tyrite Sanctum. Well. I think it's getting rid of that. I think they yeah, I guess maybe they didn't want to trade. I think that would have been a better card for them, though. Probably get... I guess, yeah, Blood in the Snow gets back the Westgate Regent. That was probably a mistake. Yeah. Oh, they only have 4 snow lands, so they can't get it back. Alright. Well. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm likely going to lose because I don't have... Sure. Yep. They're on the play, so I'm behind on this matchup here. Yeah, that's just too bad, I guess. They could have a removal spell here, but... There's not a whole lot I can do here. Not sure what the Tyrite Sanctum is for. Okay, I see. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. It's neat and becomes indestructible after that. Which is neat. Sure. I think I probably would have went ham and flipped there, but... Well, I do not have enough mana to attack with both. But they have, yeah, just exile that. Yep, there's not a whole lot I can do here. They're playing a few. I think their list is almost... That's fine. Their list is very similar to the list that I was playing. Yeah, they're not... I'm not playing Henrika. Just put 2 of them on there? Sure.
Showed me which Capital One cards I could get approval for.
Yep. Well, wow. Okay. Can't really do anything else here. So I think I'm dead now. 4, 5. That's 10, 11. Yep, that's game. Good game. Yeah, so there you see I don't really have on the draw against a deck that's playing multiple discard spells. Or maybe I was on the play. It doesn't matter anyway. Alright, play another one. See how it goes. That was not a matchup I was expecting. It's basically a mirror. I don't really know what we would have in the sideboard for the mirror. But I would likely side in Ebon Death, the Shades, probably all my discard, basically. Same as I would for any other control deck. They just seem to be playing more of the good stuff than I was. I'll put this out now. It's fine. Doesn't particularly matter. All right, here we go. I like the information that you get from Valky. They got 2 deadly disputes. Okay. Yoink. They do have a removal spell there that's gonna take Valky out, but it's okay. Oh, they're black-red. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I could have waited with Valky, but it might be the correct play too, is to wait a few turns. But most players don't play... well, I shouldn't say that. Shouldn't say if Blood Chief's Thirst not played. I think I play a few copies of it. Yeah, I play 3, so. I think this might be the strongest of the discard spell, the 3-mana discard spells. Ooh, nice. What else I know? I got a Null Priest. Cool. Now next turn I can transform the Concealing Curtains. Well, the unfortunate thing about that is it gives them the ability to draw another land, which they did. This might have been the correct choice in hindsight. I'm also getting a little tight on the mana. Can't give me Sorin because I'll make you discard it. You want to play Sorin next turn. Did I make them the Sedgemoor? Yeah. Ooh, that's pretty good too. Yikes. Well, I think now I just lose. Potentially. Yeah, not another. It's a 5-3. Yeah, unfortunately not hitting my land drops here. Likely means I'm gonna lose. Yep. And they got Sorin. That's fine. I need a land, I think. Potentially. Oh, they drew a card. Okay. All right. It's interesting. They won't attack, likely. I can play Meathook Massacre for 1. I still didn't draw another land, which is great. Fortunately, Sorin. They'll still get it anyway. I might be able to squeeze some damage in here. Could have used a little bit more mana too. Would have been good. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Think that's what I have to do. It's kind of hard to say. Likely, just so they don't have the ability to create a... If they create a vampire, they have to... oh, they don't sacrifice them. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay. It's fine, too. +1, I don't care about that. See, now I won't go after Sorin unless they... I guess Blood in the Snow would kind of suck here, but... Though they have no creature to be able to exile mine. That's interesting. So if they wrath, so they're at 9 now. Yeah. I don't know if it was the right. I think I probably should have attacked them. No land again, which is great. I can get rid of the... Yeah. Well, the only thing I can do here is play this and hope to fade a Blood in the Snow draw. Or potentially just another removal spell. Yeah, I don't care about that. Although we can sacrifice it now. But with a land there, had I had a land there in the last, I don't know, 7 turns, I would have been able to... I would have been able to get rid of something. I would have been able to get rid of the necrotic fumes if I had a 4th land. I still think I can win here. Yeah. That's fine because I'll lose a life here. Oh no, it's exiled, right? Okay. That's fine. And still no land. That's great. Feels good. I think I need to do this. It prevents Soren from being able to create a creature. Oh, they drew a land. They do anything. They can activate this. Potentially draw. And they can draw into Blood on the Snow. You can't really draw anything with Soren. Yeah. Good game. Here. I think that's gonna do it for this deck here. I'm not a big fan of. Again, I'm not a big fan of Tegridy. Nighthawk Scavenger is good. I don't particularly. I still think if you're gonna play this card, you need to be able to play it for the other side. The front side, other than the information that you gain sometimes from playing it, it definitely isn't worth it. I'd almost rather play the Elderfang Disciple. If you're just going to make them discard a card, I'd rather just that. If you don't have the ability to transform him and to play him for the other side, which I think you could very easily, even if it's just playing one snow-covered mountain, and maybe a couple, maybe 1 or 2 dual lands that the flip ones. I don't think I'm really going to change this deck. Kind of got to see the power there of Concealing Curtains unanswered, and it's very difficult to block it. It's got a nice 4 toughness that I've mentioned in other videos. But if I were to, almost similar to what my opponent was playing in the last game, I do like the blue, the black-red snow with this card. And I like the dragon. I'd rather have the dragon than Tegridy. Again, this is just one of those cards I think it's just overplayed and it's not very good. I do like the Acquisitions Expert. I don't like the rest in the main, but I understand if you're playing best of 3 and you're playing against a lot of blue-red or something. Contrary to popular belief, it doesn't always hit something in standard currently, especially in best of 1 games. It generally only ever hits. There's only a few spells in mono white, although I think mono white's falling out of favor. I haven't really played against it that much. Against mono green, you may be able to hit the Chariots or a Blizzard Brawl. And obviously against the mirror, and I mean, obviously you saw there that I was playing against 2 snow or mono black snow or black red and a mono black snow. Duress is a much, much better card in those matchups. And if that's all the format is right now, and you're playing against a lot of that, I could understand playing Duress. I still think, like, if I were to try not to change the deck too much, I would definitely, I mean, you can even add like one of those. You can even add basic mountain in the deck. Whoops. I mean, you can play one basic mountain, I think. You have the means to get it with the Field of Ruin. And even potentially 2 Sulphur's Mires. It's not that big of a deal, although you don't want to play too many because of the duress. But just to have access to, maybe this is even a possibility as well, that you just play 2 of them just to have access to red mana. I think it's definitely worth it, just for Valky. It gives you another powerful card in the late game, which most mono black decks in the mirror, they tend to back and forth until somebody, lands the larger bomb or whatever, be it Professor Onyx or Blood in the Snow. The other thing I would recommend here, especially if you're playing against a lot of like the mono black, one card that's often overlooked is, I forget the name of it right now, Blood Pact. I would play 2 Blood Pact instead of the Go Blank, although you can either take out the Demogorgon's Clutches or take out the Go Blanks, and I think having ability to draw some cards, even though it's going to cost you a couple of life, in that type of matchup, or even having the artifact, the 4 mana. As soon as my brain starts working again, the Cosmos Elixir, even in the main deck. If you're playing matchups like what I just did, like the couple of games that I played, these cards are invaluable. Being able to draw multiple cards, being able to give a little bit of life. I would probably drop. No, I'd keep the 2 Valky since I went to red anyway. It's kind of interesting. I would probably drop. I would probably drop Acquisitions Expert and play something like that. I'm not too high on the Acquisition. It's okay. I think the Elderfang Disciple is just way better because it gives you Acquisition Expert also gives your opponent ability to make a mistake. But so does Elderfang Disciple, and it is a better creature because it's a 1/2 versus a 1/1. So again, argument could be made to play both of them. But this is kind of where I would go if you're playing against a lot of snow decks. The sideboard I won't really touch on. I think the sideboard's very well built. You have the shades. You have a lot for the control matchups. You have a lot for you have a lot of things for like the blue red, maybe the blue white red, blue white. There's a lot of different control decks going on right now, so I can see the argument for Duress in the main, which is why I won't touch it right now. But yeah, that's kind of where I would go. If I wanted to go more heavily into black red, I would put in the Goldspan Dragon and probably change the mana base around a little bit. Maybe have 4 of these and just a couple of mountains, maybe 3 or 4 mountains, maybe 3 probably would be the right amount. That way you keep your snow count, your snow land count high, so you're more effective with Blood in the Snow, and you have some more sturdier threats. I think I like the menace. I like this as just a creature, as a 5 mana 4/5 menace. I think it's fine. I think it's perfectly reasonable creature, but I think there are better creatures, better spells at 5 mana. Like Lawlith and stuff like that, which this deck is sadly missing, I think. But to keep it in the spirit of the deck, I would keep, Tegridy in there right now. Anyways, that's it for this video. Like I said, there's a few snow decks coming up in multiple colors as well, so I'm looking forward to playing those and sharing them with you. All right, Have a good one.